It is important for us to note that the most strategic way for the devil to fight the entire community is to focus on marriages. If you want to destroy a forest, kill the seeds. The seed of the community is the home. It is so important that we note that. When we allow the family structure become fragmented, or to be fragmented, and you are watching things go down the drain, sometimes the things that humbling ourselves and saying in simple words, I am sorry, would have sorted, will now require months of repair, sometimes years of repair. And there are times that the damage becomes almost irreparable. The grief of fragmented families is too much for anybody to bear. It's too much. You can't bear it. Don't fragment your home. When you allow what ought to be sweet becomes sour, the taste becomes too bad for anyone to bear. So I want to show you a few things quickly. How the devil fragments families. To fragment is to break into pieces. If the devil wants to destroy a family, how does he destroy it? Now, let me share a story with you. I remember years back, one of my friends was getting married. We were preparing for his wedding. And we were praying alongside with them, by the grace of God, we pray a lot as friends. And one of those days, one of our friends that we've been praying together had a vision. And he saw in that vision that different spirits were meeting. And they were asking questions how they can destroy that new home that was forming. And he said different spirits began to bring suggestions. And some said, let's do this, let's do this. And none of those suggestions were in line with what their master wanted. So he said he saw that one of those beings came and said, let's fight them with their individual differences. Let's fight them with their individual differences. And they said, that's it. Then the master now objected. Said, but there are so and so number of people interceding for them. Then pointed at that my friend that was there, and said, including this idiot that think we can't see him. So we were able to get the gist that the devil fights families with individual differences. And they were able to pray against it. And he's still doing that now. You see, our differences is supposed to be a way for us to complement each other, not destroy each other. Okay? There are ways men act. When a man is going through pressure, he wants to withdraw for a while and think through and find a way out. Then he can communicate it in simple terms. A woman gets a solution through talking. And I've learned that from my wife. Hey, this. You won't believe what I went to do. Wow, amazing. Really? That's how this one. This is. Really? Better learn. This one. So that's how this guy. And this. We went to this. We did this. Wow. Really? Interesting. By the time she's done saying that, she said, this is one. In fact, but now that I've even spoken to you, I know what exactly I'm going to do. Correct. When women talk, by themselves, they will say the solution and they will do it. They need a listening husband. All right? Just understand that. When a man is having his own issue, he wants to keep quiet, he wants to withdraw, he wants to retire, he wants to clear his mind. Then present it. And let me just say this in passing. Sometimes I've seen books on understanding women. People are saying women are complicated, women are difficult to understand. I can tell you, men too can be quite difficult to understand. Because sometimes we don't know. People say that men don't talk. Some women are complaining, my husband doesn't talk, he doesn't talk. Let me tell you something. If a man has 3 issues bothering him, and he wants to talk to you, He will start with the least of it and tell you. Then he will check the way you are able to bear it. The moment he sees that you can bear it well, you will not have to beg. He will be pouring matters to you. But when a man tells you this, and he sees how that matter rocks you, he just understands that this is the level of what my wife can bear. All right? Then he keeps quiet. You want to get your husband to talk, listen to him like his mother does. That's the secret. Are you following what I'm saying? Bring your head, your chest, for him to pillow his head. We usually insult Delilah. But if there's a lesson to learn from her, was that she could pillow the head of a mighty man on her laps. You, every time they want to pillow your legs, pull the sander, my friend. What do you mean? Kapuma sander what? Come on, sit down and then let your husband enjoy your bosom. Sometimes when men go through life, you want to come back to your safe haven. Your husband is returning from work. Create an atmosphere of peace. The greatest thing you can give a man is not sex, it is peace. An atmosphere of peace where, regardless of the trouble, he can't wait to get back. And let me tell you something. Even this morning, as I'm preaching, I just returned back from several days of trips. Came back from London a few days ago. I just had a day rest, traveled again, just getting back. And I'm broadcasting to you live from my studio. Let me tell you, sometimes I'm on a trip. Things like my wife just sent me the picture of herself and our daughters. I see the picture. I can't wait to get back home to be with them. Let's learn to create an atmosphere where our visions can flourish. We will not gain anything by making the home hell for each other. Forgive on time. Heal. There are no matters you can't talk through. Men, make your wife convenient around you. Make her fall in love with you again and again and again. Sometimes when women stop complaining, it is not because they now understand. It is because they have given up. Unfortunately so. Many women have come to conclude that there's nothing I can do again. When a woman becomes quiet, a part of her is dying. Let's be sensitive one to another. Let me show you the playbook of the devil. How the devil fragments families. Number one, he pushes or he brings or he fragments individuals first. You cannot have a bad omelette if you don't have a bad egg. All right? So, the first question is, the person who is getting married, who is that person? How did you get married? Don't be surprised. See, there are problems people face in marriage that they should not be surprised about. How were you thinking before you got married? Who do you perceive a woman to be? A guy was going to get married, and his friends came to visit him, and they noticed that the house was smelling. He was no longer washing plates. He was no longer washing his clothes. And when they asked him, why is your house like this? You know what he said? He said, sister is coming. Meaning that according to him, all right, a wife is the one whose duty in life is to wash plates and wash clothes. In case there's any single person here, let me tell you something. Before you marry a person, listen to the person. And I tell people, in a relationship, touching is a trap. The moment you start touching each other, you will not be able to listen to the person. A goat may speak like a person, only for you to get married and they remove the suit or remove the gown and say, hey, Gizi, say, man. But when you hear the person's ideology, you already know what you are getting into. Fragmented individuals. The society has a way of trying to brainwash people and change their perspective about the good institution called marriage. Wants to wash them off. Some people have been re-educated through movies, through books, painful stories, and they are carrying the grief and the hurt. Some are scared already. Their husband has not done anything. The wife has not done anything. But they've told him, they've told her, you have to protect yourself. Your spouse must not know all that you have. So you too, because these women, one time they can just do this, and these men, one time they can just do this. So let me hide my money. Already you have broken that home. The moment you stop trusting your spouse, you have destroyed the home. Forgive yourselves. Don't listen to naysayers. Some families would have been better if not for the input of the parents. They send strange broadcast message to the in-law. Every time, broadcast message. How a pastor is preaching against a man who is maltreating the wife. Broadcast. And sometimes we forget that when you keep taking matters to family, everybody will defend their own. Particularly since some of you are the first generation to break through and come to Europe. Everybody wants to protect their own interest. And sometimes that might not be the interest of the home. I know what I'm saying, like I know my name. And there are families here going through what I've just described. The devil fragments individuals through fragmented ideologies. Things we see. The re-engineering work of the society. Movies, books, friends. Dysfunctional environment. You've seen too many broken marriages. Who asked you to make celebrity marriages your own model? Looking unto Jesus, the author and the finisher of our faith. The moment you are coming into a marriage with a dysfunctional idea, it is just a matter of time. It will rub off on the marriage. Who is a husband and who is a wife? How should the wife be treated? How should the husband be treated? Now, these are questions you have to answer. Check it with the instructions in the Bible. Am I correct? Some people are saying, after all, since we got married, I've never laid my hands on you to beat you before. So this. But there are verbal abuses. There are emotional abuses. You will insult each other and emotionally abuse each other. It's wrong.
Welcome to Remnant Breed TV. Here you'll be getting amazing content that will bless you. Kindly like, subscribe, and share.